So I can see while I'm talking, it's only touching that maybe as I move closer to the, yeah, to the mic, to the laptop. So I'll bring the laptop closer to me and hopefully it'll be clearer. Inshallah. Yeah, it's
Okay.
clearly not as sensitive as the other app for some reason. I'm hoping there will be some difference now.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you notice the difference? Anyone there? I can notice the difference. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's interesting.
Inshallah, it'll be fine. And have the invitations gone out? Are you ready to start, or you want to wait for a couple of minutes for people to join?
I think we're good because we have done the invitations. It has gone on WhatsApp and Telegram, so I think we're good to start. If you're okay, inshallah.
That's fine. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man ittaba'a hudahu. I see, I think you can probably see my settings screen, right? You can see the microphone is only giving one red bar. Let me try to get rid of that. I think you can probably see my settings screen, right? See the microphone is only giving one red bar. Zoom. Share screen. Okay, so Muzammil, will you take care of will you be monitoring the chats and the Q&As? Because I'm not sure if
Yes,
I'm going to be able to do all of that at the same time.
not a problem. That's fine.
Or some, maybe some, oh yeah, I can see. Okay. And then when I click on that thing, it ends up sharing parts of the screen that I don't want to share.
Mhm.
Okay. So, Alhamdulillah, yesterday we commenced eventually with Madeenah Book 2, Ad-Dars al-Awwal. And today, inshallah, we're going to continue where we just very quickly recap some of the things that we were doing yesterday and adding to some of that. So we read through the dialogue, and what I've done today, I've circled and numbered the pretty much like the main new concepts or rules that are being introduced into or via Dars al Awwal. Okay, so in the conversation, he said, Hashimun, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, Al Mudarrisu, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. كيف حالك يا أستاذ لعلك بخير. And then we learned that this word لعل, let me see if I can get annotate, yeah. If I can annotate and draw, yeah. لعل, this means perhaps, or I hope, or I wonder if, depending on the context. Okay. Now, what I'd like to do is go into where is this? Go into the book. Okay, yeah, there you go. Scrolling now. Try to scroll it and go forward into the exercises just with the word la'alla and see. Look at the exercises that the teacher that the author had presented for us to practice. And where are we going to find it? Here. Okay, so basically in exercise 10, if you have the book, you can turn to exercise 10. He says, أدخل لعل على الجمل الآتية علما بأن لعل من أخوات إن. Okay, so basically, لعل, it behaves similarly to inna, known as from the akhawat of inna, or the sisters of inna, or from the same family. In the dialogue above, it said, لعلك بخير, لعلك بخير. But I hope you are fine. I hope you are okay. So this is a good time to collaborate with the brothers who are in the group. All right. So if I can have a look at the participants list, and let's see, are there any brothers who would like to be given permission to write their answers on the board? So we're going to do this exercise over here, all right? And from 1 to 12, and that basically means that we have the opportunity for some people to read the answers out, some people to write the answers out. So Muzammil, to the brothers have the liberty to raise their hands, or to take the mic, or to request the mic, or something like that. If they can, that'd be great. And then we can give them the tool for annotation, and they can write the answers.
Yeah.
So while we're preparing their microphones and giving them that, and while they're finding the tools themselves to come and start writing,
Yeah.
we can start reading the answers ourselves. So huwa bikhairin. If I wanted to add, basically it's saying adkhil la'alla, add la'alla to this sentence. What would it be like? I'll do the first one. So what would it be? Huwa, change it to a dhamir, you say la'allahu, la'allahu bikhairin, la'allahu bikhairin. I think there's some okay.
Okay, so okay, I can give the mic to some of, so I can see the Mumtaz Ali and Abu Abdul Rab. Okay,
Yeah, give them, inshallah, yeah.
Okay, tayyib. So let's
Muhammad Fayaz also saying, I've just seen the text. So Ahmad Dil is saying, yeah, la'allahu bi khairin. So yeah, they're participating with the answers already in the text. Go ahead, give them the mic, give them the annotation tools to write in the answers. This is what we were discussing earlier in our practice session, was on that technically with Zoom, we're hoping that if 12 people, for example, had access to their pen, they could simultaneously write the answers to these questions. So number 2, it says hum bikhairin. So what would the answer be?
لعلهم بخير.
أحسنت بارك الله فيك. Who is that, please?
أبو عمار ممتاز لي.
حياك الله أخي الكريم، ما شاء الله تبارك الله. لعلهم
MashaAllah, good to hear from you.
بخير. لعلهم بخير. Excuse me while we're just using the trackpad to type. Hopefully there'll come a day where we get advanced and use the tablet and the pen. لعلهم بخير. And then number 3, somebody else with the mic, or the same brother.
لعلها بخير.
Yeah, because it says here, and so as the author said over here, لعل من أخوات إن. So it behaves the same way as inna behaves, in that the same way you joined inna and huwa by saying innahu, You joined inna and hum by saying innahum. You will join inna and here by saying, as the brother just said to us, innaha. Innaha bi khairin. Indeed, she is fine. So, what would be a context that somebody would say innaha bi khairin? Why would someone say innaha bi khairin? Probably
كيف
would be for
حالها؟
نعم صحيح جزاك الله خيرا كيف حالها how is she for example or كيف حال أمك كيف حال أمك how is your mother and then somebody might say the answer might be إنها بخير إنها بخير of course you can say هي بخير you can say that and obviously in any language you can say the same thing in many ways and the purpose obviously of this book right now is to introduce you to the language and the different tools aspects of the language and here is one particular thing that you can use إنها بخير well, I've just realized I've made a mistake and no one's correcting me I've written إنها بخير صحيح so the answer actually was
لعلها.
لعلها بخير. So let me just do some undos and right over here لعلها بخير. So yeah, so what would be the context? The context would be in the same question somebody says, كيف حال أمك? In the same question they might say لعلها بخير. I hope she's fine. أحسنت أخي هود is type the answer as well لعلها بخير جزاكم الله خيرا. So and how about number 4 if you brothers can get typing or speaking inshallah. Number 4 هن بخير
لعلهن بخير.
لعلهن بخير لعلهن بخير أحسنتم. السؤال الخامس أو المثال الخامس أو الجملة الخامسة
لعلك بخير.
because the damir here is anta. So if you add anta, you want to make it into, and this is called, all of these damair, huwa, hiya, anta, anti, ana, all of them, they are known as الضمائر المنفصلة or الضمير المنفصل in the singular form. The detached ضمير, the detached ضمير. And the one that what we are doing, we're converting them to the الضمير المتصل, which is the connected ضمير. And the connected ضمير usually comes after, for example, حرف الجر, or it will come after حرف الحروف الناسخة, okay, which will speak, the terminology is not that important. So for example, something like لعل, something like inna, if it wants to connect to a dhamir, you're not going to say لعل أنت بخير, لعل هو بخير, لعل هي بخير. Or and you're not going to say inna huwa tayyibun and inna anta bikhairin. You won't say that. For sure, in some cases it doesn't change. Like hum bikhairin, la'allahum bikhairin, and hunna bikhairin. The answer to that, la'allahunna bikhair, doesn't change. But in these cases, the examples of number 1, number 3, number 5, 6, 7 and 8, all 9 and 10, they're all going to change. They're all going to change. So here we had the answer from the brother. He said, لعلك لعلك بخير لعلك بخير. Again, excuse the writing. Number 6, الجملة السادسة. الجملة السادسة. The 6th sentence. أنتم بخير. أنتم بخير. تفضلوا. أحسنت أخي أحمد ديل. Got the answer correct for the previous one just seen in the chat.
لعلكم بخير.
جيد. أحسنت. لعلكم. So, okay, Muzammil, was it not possible to give anyone the tools to write?
Um, it looks like it is possible to make them a panelist, and then once they become one of the panelist members, they can they can do the writing.
Okay, well, there's a text from Osama Rahmani. He says that he can write. So
Ah,
go ahead, Osama. If you have the rights to write, then go ahead, inshallah. Oh, I see
oh,
you have you have a tablet, but you don't have the what do you call that thing? The toolbar, the
yeah.
permission. Exactly. So they have to become panelists.
Let me see. Let's try. I'll make Osama a panelist. Assalamu alaikum, akhi Osama. So I'm going to make you a panelist, and let's see if you are able to, write on the board.
Inshallah, yeah, great. So الجملة السابعة الجملة السابعة, which is the seventh question. أنت بخير. أنت بخير.
لعلك بخير.
أحسن الله إليك. أحسنت. لعلك بخير, because it said أنت, so that is the dhamir which is munfasil, separate dhamir. When you are joining at the end of the word, it will be in the feminine form, feminine singular, ki. لعلك بخير. So, and how about over here, number 8? أنتن بخير. Ahsan, Ahmed Dil got there straight away, and he types the answer, لعلكن. لعلكن بخير. Now, I'm only going to work up to number 9 and 10. There's a reason for that. We'll come to that, the reason, in a moment, inshallah. But let's go for number 9, الجملة التاسعة. الجملة التاسعة, the 9th sentence. أنا ناجح. أنا ناجح. الجواب.
Would it be لعلي ناجح؟
نعم.
لعلي ناجح.
بارك الله فيك. So there's more than one way to say it. One of them is لعلي ناجح, as Ahmed Dil gives it in the chat box, and also Muhammad Fayaz also gives the alternative. He says لعلني. This noon which comes in, it has a name to it. It's a noon basically just to separate, to help add a ya. To help add a ya to some words. This noon is known as noon al-wiqaya, like a noon of defense. It's like a defense line. It protects the word from ya, and it prevents people becoming confused. Is that ya originally part of the word, or was it added? So this is the reason why this noon is sometimes used. So you can say لعلني بخير, and عفوا لعلني ناجح. That's the answer. I don't think anybody would say لعلني بخير. أنا ناجح. لعلني ناجح. I hope I passed. ناجح means to pass, to be successful. Or you could say لعلي ناجح. لعلي ناجح. جيد. Whose was that blue pen? Was that Osama? Or he wasn't able to get the writing tools. So number 9, لعلي ناجح. Okay. And Akhi Osama or anybody else, if you can recommend to us a particular tablet that we should get, acquire, in order to be able to work on this, something easy, cheap, and and suitable. And the last one that we want to touch on, نحن ناجحون. نحن ناجحون. And the answer would be, mashallah, we've got a lot of answers coming.
لعلنا.
We've got one person speaking and two people writing. Although, mashallah, tabarakallah, we have a good number of attendees. Allahumma barik lakum. And they all agreed and they said, لعلنا لعلنا ناجحون. لعلنا ناجحون. It looks like someone's practicing their Chinese. Is that Mandarin? Akhi? لا بأس. Alhamdulillah. It's probably the same as me. It took me a long time to work out how to type with the trackpad. It's very, very, very difficult, very tricky. Ahsan Akhi Firoz, mashallah. لعلنا. You're back on track, Firoz, mashallah. After all these years, huh? Alhamdulillah. I remember we doing this book, was it 15 or 18 years ago? Good revision sessions, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. طيب. So let's stop there from this particular exercise and get back into the main dialogue. I'm gonna have to clear clear the answers. This is the interesting thing, that actually you're not writing on the document, you're writing on this screen.
Okay.
So we have to clear it, clear all drawings, and then move up to back to where we were. حياكم الله جميعا. MashaAllah, it's nice having you here and having you all participating. So he said over here, كيف حالك يا أستاذ. I'm interested to know whether you guys can see my pointer. Can you see what I'm pointing at, and what can you actually see? Is it the same as me? Is it like the regular arrow mouse?
Yeah, it's mouse arrow actually.
Mouse arrow. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So كيف حالك يا أستاذ لعلك بخير. And we had some practice on this word لعل, and we know now what it means. That I hope, I wonder, and perhaps. It could also be used in a worrying situation. Yeah, in a worrying situation. For example, where is so and so? لعله مريض. Perhaps he's unwell, or and this is used in a situation of possible fear or worry. Al-Mudarris, he said, Alhamdulillah. Praise belongs to Allah. وَكَيْفَ حَالُكَ أَنْتَ يَا هَاشِمُ. He said, Ana, and then the teacher says, Ana أُحِبُّكَ كَثِيرًا يَا هَاشِمُ إِنَّكَ طالب ذكي. Now what I did, I circled innaka. This is the rule that we took yesterday. I explained it to you. I'm hoping I explained it to you in some detail, or at least how it works with the damir. The meaning of this inna is it's a harf, as we said yesterday, that the language is in three aspects: ismun wa fi'lun wa harf. This is from the huruf, and what it does, it gives emphasis to a particular noun. Okay, now I'm going to take your memory back to Al-Kitab Al-Awwal. No, I'm not. Let's leave that for a second. I'm going to come back to Al-Kitab Al-Awwal in a second. Innaka, let's do the exercises related to innaka. Innaka talibun dakiyun. Indeed, you are a bright student. Dakiyun means intelligent or bright or clever. So inna has been introduced. Let's go over here, and what he does, he gives you the whole breakdown of the rules, similar to what we did yesterday. Okay, so here you have all of the rules of how to join inna plus the dhamir, plus the dhamir, al-dhamir al-munfasil, the separated dhamir, which is huwa, hiya, anta, anti. You want to join them to inna, and then you have to use a connected dhamir. Okay, this dhamir here is a connected dhamir. So you say innahu, innaha, innaka. Is that clear, guys? Inshallah.
Yeah, sir. Sure.
Alhamdulillah, I'm sure it's clear. So if it's clear, Bismillah, let's go to the exercises and practice on those exercises, inshallah. And what I might suggest this time is to get more people in the chat room and answering the questions. So sentence number 1, al-jumlat al-ula said, huwa tajirun. Huwa tajirun. The instruction says, adkhil. Adkhil means to enter something upon something else. Bring it in. Enter it on something. Or into something. Adkhil inna ala al-jumal al-atiyati. Just to make sure we understand this instruction, so that if you ever wanted to self-study this book, you would be able to. Inna, adkhil inna, add inna to al-jumal, which is the plural of jumlatun, so sentences, al-atiyati, al-jumali, al-atiyati. Al-atiyati means the following sentences. And this is na'tun wa man'utun. Al-jumali, al-atiyati. So add inna to this, or to this sentence, huwa tajirun. That's a complete sentence. Huwa tajirun. So you want to add inna, and what happens? It becomes تفضلوا.
إنه.
بارك الله فيك. إنه تاجر. إنه تاجر. Let me get the pen properly. إنه تاجر. صحيح. In actual fact, we have it here. We have it here. This is going to be an easy exercise because the answers are right in front of you. Number 2, أنا طالب. الجملة الثانية أنا طالب.
إني
طيب. أحسنتم أحسنت أخي هود، أحسنت زيد وأحمد وكلكم. إني طالب، or as Ahmed correctly says, إنني, using the noon of al-wiqaya. This one here. إنني. إنني. It's interesting to see whether we can find that example in the Quran. Innani. Very quickly, let's go to the website I was telling you about yesterday, which is maani.com, and in the chat box, in the search field, you say innani. And yeah, here you have examples from the Quran. قل إنني هداني ربي إلى صراط مستقيم. ما شاء الله. ألا تعبدوا إلا الله إنني لكم منه نذير وبشير. So here you have ayat in the Quran which have the usage of innani, and also you might find that the inni is also there. Let's check other examples of the Quran. Yes. وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. The Prophet is asking for the link for the website. I will, inshallah, put it in the chat right now. Somebody sent it for me. Alhamdulillah. And you can see different examples from the Quran where inni is being used, innani. And what I like to do, you click on the button where it says mazid, and that basically continues through the search till you get towards the end of the Quran, because many people have memorized those surahs near the end of the Quran more. And so if you have examples right from Juz Amma, for example, that would be great. And it makes them realize that, hang on, I've been reading this surah all my life and never thought about, this word or this combination. And the point is, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Do they not ponder over the Quran? أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Or are their hearts locked up? We should read the Quran. We should increase in recitation, particularly in these days, as we are in our houses most often, or at least we've been, strongly recommended, if not told, to remain indoors. So we have the opportunity to read the Quran. Look in Surah Al-Jinn, قُلْ إِنِّي لَن يُجِيرَنِي مِنَ اللَّهِ أَحَدٌ وَلَنْ أَجِدَ مِن دُونِهِ مُلْتَحَدًا. Beautiful ayah in current circumstances. Say, none will give rescue to me or save me or take me into their protection besides Allah, and I shall find no other supporter besides Him. Khair, inshallah. Let's go back to where we were, get back to our focus. And that was just to show you, inni and innani, they have both been used in the Quran. And then the last one, no, it's not the last one. Number 3. Hum min al-Yabani. Hum min al-Yabani. أحسنتم أحسنت أخي الكريم إنهم من اليابان. إنهم من اليابان. الجملة الرابعة. الجملة الرابعة. The fourth sentence. أنتم أذكياء. أنتم أذكياء. أدخل إن على ذلك. أنتم becomes نعم إنكم. أحسنتم كلكم. ما شاء الله, well done. إنكم أذكياء. Why is it that this word أذكياء only has one dhamma? Although in book 1 we learned that nouns, they have 2 dhammas, unless there's alif ul lam, or unless it's mudaf, or unless there's ya before it.
It's Jama Mudhakkar.
It's jam mudhakkar. It's a particular type of jam, exactly, yeah. So as
Maksur.
the naam, taksir, jam or taksir. But not all plurals. So the brother mentioned in the answers is plural. It is plural. And Ahmed says, Ahmadil said it's mamnu' min as-sarf. It is mamnu' min as-sarf. Ahsant. And Muhammad Fayyaz says, because of the way that it is formed, the wazn or the scale of that word, adhkiya'u. And if you look at, if I'm not mistaken, الدرس الثالث عشر or الدرس الرابع عشر in Madeenah book 1, where they introduced quite a lot of nouns. They gave lists of nouns and they gave their plurals as well. And you'll find over there 13, 14, 15, 16, those lessons. And you find that those plurals that have this very similar scale, adhkiya'u, the brother just mentioned, Abu Abdul Rab just said, zumala'u. They all finish with one dhamma. Zamilun, zumala'u. Dhakiyun, adhkiya'u. Can you think of any other examples that have the same scale, that follow the same, what is known in Arabic as the same wazn? Wazn?
Ulama.
Faqirun, فقراء غريب غرباء غني أغنياء. أحسنت أخي فرج. But you won't put an ain at the end of أغنياء. It's going to be a hamza. These words generally you find the end of it, you're going to have a hamza. Interesting point that I remember one of our teachers years ago mentioned is that you notice that these words in the singular form, they all follow a similar pattern. فقير غريب ذكي. So one of the brothers or someone's asking a question, where can we learn Mamnu' min as-sarf? In book 1 it is lesson 22 and lesson 23. Although it's introduced early on, the female names, feminine names are shown as one dhamma in a dars al-khamis, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But actually the dars, it really goes into it and gives you the lists in the last two chapters of book 1. So he was saying to us that this one here, look at the scale or the wazn, the pattern of the singular forms. غريب فقير ذكي غني زميل. What do you guys notice? What do you guys notice? They all have this fa'ilun, fa'ilun, fa'ilun. Not that they end in dhammatain necessarily, but the letter before the end has a ya. So you got 4 letters. 3 of them are the main letters of the word. And the one before the end is a ya which is added. Okay? So, ذكي أذكياء غريب غرباء فقير فقراء. So then someone said, how about علماء? What is the singular of علماء?
عالم.
So the brother on the mic said alimun. The brother on the chat, he said alimun. Somebody else said alimun. And in actual fact, if you follow the rule, you follow the pattern, it would be alimun. So, but we don't really use the word alim. We find it in the Quran. Allah Ta'ala said, وَفَوْقَ كُلِّ ذِي عِلْمٍ عَلِيمٌ. And above every possessor of knowledge, there is one who has more knowledge than him or her, than that person. So alimun, it seems to it's a scale or a wazn used for a person who's excessive in that particular description. So alimun has more knowledge than alimun. Even though we don't use the word alimun that much, it's not really used. And it is referred, we do, he said this so and so who are alimun. We do the usage, common usage of the word is alimun. But you might say the linguistic rule would be alimun bima'na alimun. Ahsan akhi Shakil, azizun. What's the jama' of that? I'm not sure if that's going to follow our rule because that has 2 double letters in it. So then you come to a ta marbuta. There's some rules. Izzatun. Izzatun. Jayyid. Alhamdulillah. Sorry, that was a bit of a sidetrack. Let's get back to where Akhi Imran's asking the question. Faqirun is, I'm not sure the question because I can't read it. Faqirun instead of faqirun. Oh, I see. No. So I don't think there is. You don't say faqir. I don't think you can say faqir. It's more got to do with language and use. I think we're talking more about language and use. In any case, interesting to note that this word here has 1 dhamma. Innakum adkiya'u. Mutazawwijatun. Mutazawwijatun. What does that word mean, please? Mutazawwijatun, married. Ahsantum. It means married. Hiya mutazawwijatun, she is married. So you would say أدخل إن على الجملة الخامسة إنها. أحسنتم. إنها متزوجة. إنها متزوجة. Indeed, she is married. Indeed, she is married. جيد. نحن مسلمون. نحن مسلمون. أحسنتي. We are Muslims. نحن مسلمون. We are Muslims. أدخل إن على الجمل الآتية. أدخل إن على الجمل الآتية. نعم. إنا مسلمون أو إننا مسلمون. أحسنتم. أنتن مجتهدات. أنتن مجتهدات. Before we go any further, what is this word? مجتهدات.
Hard work.
أيوة أيوة ما شاء الله. Do I have only one brother on the mic? I feel sorry for you, bro. we need to get some more microphones out there.
No,
No, there are other people. Yeah, come and get involved, inshallah. It's fine too. So yeah, so mujtahidatun, this is plural. Afwan. Is it singular or is it plural? It's plural. How do you know?
Antunna. For the numbers. Then it is
Yeah, so I think encouraging you all to talk at the same time was a bad idea. Because now everyone's voice fighting against each other and nobody can hear anything. Afwan, my mistake. Yeah, my mistake. La bas, la bas.
it's alif and ta at the end. That's why it's known to be plural female.
Yeah, أحسنت أحسنت أخي الكريم. ألف وتاء. ألف وتاء. أخي مزمل, if you could just check the list of attendees.
Yep.
Brother Abbas, he's got his hand up, so possibly he wants to take the mic or.
Oh, yes, sure, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, Akhi Abbas. Hayakallah.
حياكم الله. So, أحسنت أخي أبو عمار. ألف وتاء. That shows that this is plural, and it also shows that the word is originally mu'annath. And mu'annath, yesterday somebody asked me a question, what are these terms? Mudhakkar and mu'annath. I didn't get around to answering it. Mudhakkar and mu'annath. So mudhakkar, basically in some languages, they classify al-asma, nouns, as feminine and masculine nouns. I suppose to a certain degree we do that in English as well. But obviously, what we do it for people. We do it for people that, we do it for genders. She, he. So these are people, but we don't do it for objects. But other languages, French, for example, they do it for objects as well. And there's certain objects they consider to have a feminine gender, and certain objects they consider to have a male gender. I'm not sure if it's permissible or if it's technically correct to use the. Okay, go ahead. To use the word gender, maybe that's what it is. In any case, the same is for Arabic language. And there are some words which are known as mu'annath, feminine, some words which are known as mudhakkar, masculine. And if something is mudhakkar, then when you are referring to it with a na'at, describing it rather with a na'at, and the description is going to be also mu'annath. And if it's mudhakkar, then the description is also going to be mudhakkar. Same for mubtada and khabar, which we're going to come to in a second. Mubtada and al-khabar, which we're going to talk about in a second, inshallah. Alif wa ta shows that this word is originally mu'annath in the singular form. So the word is mujtahidatun. Mujtahidatun, a female who is hardworking. Mujtahidatun, mujtahidatun. This is a group of hardworking women or the females, group of females hardworking. Antunna mujtahidatun, you are hardworking. Ladies or girls or sisters, antunna mujtahidatun, you are hardworking. So adkhil inna ala al-jumla as-sabi'ati, add inna to the seventh sentence, and what will it be? I think someone gave me the answer quite a while back in the chat room. We lost it with all the other talk. نعم. أحسنت أحسنت أخي أحمد. إن كنا مجتهدات. Indeed, you are hardworking sisters or women. الجملة الثامنة, eighth sentence. هن مسلمات. هن مسلمات. MashaAllah. The answers are coming in hard and fast. أحسن الله إليكم. إنهن مسلمات. إنهن مسلمات. Well done. جزاكم الله خيرا. أحسن الله إليكم. الجملة التاسعة. أنت رجل غني. أنت رجل غني. أدخل إن على ذلك، على هذه الجملة. أدخل إن على هذه الجملة. إنك رجل غني. إنك رجل غني. الجملة العاشرة. أنت ذكية. أنت ذكية.
إنك.
أي أحسنت. So on purpose I didn't pronounce أنت. I wanted someone to get it. How do you know that this is إنك?
Because zakiyatun is ending with ta marbuta.
بارك الله فيكم. جزاك الله خيرا. Because ذكية has ta marbuta on the end of it. This is the initiator of the sentence, which is known as mubtada, the noun that starts the sentence, and this is the khabar. This is the noun that concludes the purpose of the initial introduction of the noun. Why someone said anti? Because they want to give us some information about her. So they said innaki. Sorry, they said anti dhakiyatun. And then the khabar, because the mubtada is mu'annath, feminine, then the khabar is also going to be mu'annath. So when there was no fatha or dhamma or kasra, or no, you wouldn't have a dhamma, you'd have a fatha. There's no fatha or kasra on this word. So how do we know that it's anti? Because the khabar has got ta marbuta on the end of it. Dhakiyatun. So immediately that's a sign that this word here is anti. And this is this is one of the things that I want to say to all those people who are frightened of the Arabic language. They say, "Oh, how am I going to ever? I can never read Arabic unless all of the tashkil is there, all of the fatha, dhamma, kasra, zabr, zir, pesh, all these signs, diacritics. If it's not there, I can never read it." And in actual fact, mashallah tabarakallah, so many of the attendees, they saw this sentence here and they said, anti takiyatun. They knew straight away that this ta over here has a kasra, because I recognize it. And this is with practice, as you learn the language, you know that this one here is not going to be hin, it's not going to be hun, So you learn, you know that this word here is not going to be nihan, it's not going to be nuhin. You learn that this is nahnu. This is with your exposure to the Arabic language, and that's why I encourage, strongly encourage all of the learners of the language, particularly this book here, Madeenah book 2. Let me see the hard copy that I've got. what I noticed was the original books, when they were first printed for the students in the university, they were printed without the tashkil, without the tashkil, without the tashkil. Let's have a look. And there were some books that were printed after. The people who printed the book, they wanted to, they thought they were trying to help out the students or the learners around the world. So they decided, people have a big problem knowing where to put the Dhamma Kasra. So they printed the books, adding the Fatha Kasra by themselves. And that defeats the purpose of this book. Because in this book, they only give you the tashkil, which is those signs, vowel signs, Fatha Kasra Dhamma. They only give you those signs the first time they introduce the word. And once they've introduced it once, or possibly twice, khalas, then they rely upon you to have learned it, to know about it, to revise it, and keep that in your memory bank when you go forward. And whenever that book comes, you know how to read it. So there were some new books that came out. I noticed some very good quality paper, glossy colors, a lot of hard work, but the student becomes lazy using that book because there's no opportunity to apply the rules that they learn. And in actual fact, by seeing this sentence over here, let me just get rid of the writing so it becomes clear. Being able to read this or anti dakiyatun, you are applying your knowledge. And application of knowledge, that repetition, it helps you to keep it fresh and to revise it. حياكم الله يا إخوان. Let's go back to where we were. Clear everything. Let's go up. And the next circle is this one here. He said, إنك طالب ذكي ومجتهد. We just learned that word down there about hardworking. وذو خلق. A possessor of good manners. Dhu is an interesting word. This word has some rules that it follows. And the meaning of dhu is, in Arabic, sahibu, the one who owns something or possesses something or has something أيوة أحسنت أخي عباس معناه صاحب. So ذو خلق means صاحب خلق, somebody, an individual who possesses good character, good manners. That's the meaning of ذو. That buzzing sound is getting to me. My speaker.
Is it via the chat message, Ustad, or how is it?
What's that? The buzzing?
Yeah.
No. I think maybe somebody is logged in via their phone and they're getting at the same time getting notifications, maybe on WhatsApp or something else, and it's got the vibrator on. So when it comes, it shakes the whole dunya. Because actually
Okay.
we got the whole dunya on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Akhi Muzammil, there was that, just on a side note, you remember we were discussing sending out that survey question just to get an understanding of the types of learners that needs better.
Yes.
If you want, you can send that link up if it's ready.
Yeah. What? Okay. Can you give me a question?
What question was it?
So there is a poll functionality which I can send. So it's like how was this class? Any feedback or something? I mean,
Yeah, no, but then there was the Google form that we made, and the one that I sent you.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want, we can ask the brothers to hold on, inshallah. We'll send that form to them just to get, or if you can check your email, I emailed it to you to collaborate on that. You
Oh,
get
yeah.
that link and share it.
Yeah, that's with me. Yeah,
Barakallahu feek.
I've
Okay,
got it.
let's just continue for about 5 or 6 or 7, 8, 9 minutes, 10, 11, 12, inshallah. And so this one we have dhu. It means a possessor of, somebody who possesses something. Okay, now let's look at the teacher is actually saying, I really love you, Hashim. Why? Because you are an intelligent student, you're a hard worker, وَذُو خُلُقٍ, and you are a person of good character. You possess good manners. So this word dhu, let's look at it in the exercises. The author, he brings it down over here. I think it's exercise 9. It is. Okay. He says, look at these examples. These examples, he gives 4 examples because in the singular masculine form, you will say dhu. You say هذا الطالب ذو خلق. هذا الطالب ذو خلق. Now, okay. Now there are a few things that I want to mention about the word dhu. There are a few things I'd like to mention about the word dhu. Let's just. The first thing to mention about the word dhu is that it always appears as a na'at of the previous word. It appears as a na'at is describing the previous word. What does that mean? If the previous word is singular masculine, then this word dhu is going to be in the singular masculine form. But if the previous word was plural masculine, as you have in the example here, in ba, it says هؤلاء الطلاب ذو, because طلاب is plural. So dhawu is going to be a na'at of plural, so it has to come in the plural form. So what is the plural form of dhu? The plural form of dhu is dhawu. Dhawu. Jayid?
There's a question from Brother Abbas. What's the situation for dual?
No, I'm ignoring his question. Because Abbas wants to take us to book 3. MashaAllah. Okay, so simple rule. Dhu is good. Abbas. Just kidding with you. You're welcome to ask any question. Inshallah, we'll try to get it in. In actual fact, why don't you remind us? I can't even remember the answer to that. I only revised book 2. Dhu khuluqin. So dhu is a na'at of a talibu. Talibu is masculine singular, so dhu is masculine singular. Allahumma salli, that's the adhan.
MashaAllah.
Allahumma yassir umurana.
Ameen.
Allahumma hafidh muslimin. Allahu Allahumma جيد. So الطلاب, this is مذكر and it's جمع. So the the form of ذو is also going to be مذكر and it's also going to be جمع. So the word is ذو. ذو. هؤلاء الطلاب ذو خلق. How about الطالبة مؤنث مفرد singular feminine is going to be ذات. هذه الطالبة ذات خلق. ذات خلق. And then how about if it's مؤنث and جمع؟ الطالبات هؤلاء الطالبات ذوات خلق. ذوات خلق. Now the class is not for 1.5 hours. The class is approximately 1 hour, and you know sometimes you just get carried away. So it's just been over an hour, and we're willing to stop whenever if you guys obviously, I'm sure you have other commitments, other lessons. Please just send some messages, blitz us with messages and tell us that we're going too long and we all need a break, or there's another important lesson that you need to attend, and then we will stop inshallah. But there were a couple of points I wanted to get in. Let's just talk about dhu. I think when we talk about dhu, I wanted to talk about mubtada and khabar, and we'll talk about that tomorrow inshallah. But let's finish with dhu. So one thing to remember about dhu and dhawu and dhatu and dhawatu, that all of them are na'at. They describe the word before them. If the word before them is in singular, if the word before is singular, masculine, then it's going to be dhu. If it's plural masculine, it's going to be dhawu. If it's singular feminine, it's going to be dhatu. And you know what? Subhanallah al-Azim. It could be khabar. Yeah, just someone said, are they not khabar? And you may have just jogged my memory. But so I will stop saying that is not until I go and just check that. But the point I actually want to make is that they follow suit. I should have probably kept it safe. And I say that dhu, it follows suit of the word that came before it. Singular, singular, masculine, masculine, plural, plural, feminine, feminine. That's actually what it is. Akhi Hood, I will say to you, do both things parallel. It's not a problem, inshallah. The book one is quite easy. The lessons are there. Do some, catch-up classes. Those Brother Muzammil can send the link to all of the book one classes that we did. There you are, alhamdulillah. And you can visit all of the recordings, inshallah, and do these two side by side. Naam. So this particular question, that dhu and dhawu, is it following what came before in number and in gender? Absolutely. It's following in number and in gender. Okay, what else do we need to know? We need about this word dhu. Dhu always appears as mudaf. Dhu always appears as mudaf. So there's two things that you know about dhu, dhawu, that, and dhawat so far. There's two things you know about dhu. Number one, it follows suit from the word that came before it. Whether it's khabar or not, we'll check inshallah. But if the previous one is singular masculine, this is going to be dhu. As for tullabu, which is plural masculine, dhawu, so it followed. Okay, but what you have to remember is also that this word is mudaf. What is it? Mudaf. So therefore, what does it need?
Mudafun ilayhi.
Ahsantum. Every mudaf needs mudafun ilayhi. So that is the reason why khuluqin has got a kasra. ذو خلق ذو خلق ذوات خلق ذات خلق. See? جيد. I'm going to show you now those ayat. أحسن الله إليك. You can see in the chat box, brother Abu Bilal mentions, Abu Bilal Liaquat mentions, إن الله هو الرزاق ذو القوة ذو القوة المتين. Zaid asks, so is this always na'at for the word before and mudaf for the word after in class? Yes, inshallah. Yes, inshallah. This is Abu Zaid asking the question. That is the case bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Whether it's na'at or khabar, that's a technicality that we need to overcome, and we will overcome that inshallah. Is very quickly look at these ayat that I picked out. Let's bring this in here because I went to that website earlier and I picked out some of the ayat. Let's clear it, clear everything. And have one. Aywa, dhu. There you go. Wallahu dhul fadl al-azim. Wallahu dhul fadl al-azim. Similar to the example of other game. كيف هو الرزاق إن الله هو الرزاق ذو القوة المتين. As for that, وأسروا قولكم أو اجهروا به إنه عليم بذات الصدور. إنه عليم بذات الصدور. He is fully aware, fully acquainted with, in full knowledge of what the chests, as-sudur, possess. وَأَسِرُّوا قَوْلَكُمْ أَوْ اجْهَرُوا بِهِ. Whether you keep your statements hidden or whether you openly state them. Indeed, Allah is fully aware and fully acquainted with what the chests, with what your hearts are, what they contain. I think we're going to have see the type of questions that are coming. Jazakumullahu khairan. It looks like some of you guys have got some advanced or some, mashallah, some, let's say, beyond level 2 questions, book 2 questions. And I'm quite conscious of the fact that there are people in the class, because I just remember my own experience when I moved from, when I was first learning Arabic and I was learning book 1, and I, mashallah, you know, we were all total beginners in that class. Everyone came from scratch. We were all on the same page, and I understood it fully well. When I went to book 2, I found that, subhanAllah, there were people on different levels, and people that had studied before, and they ended up in level 2, and it became difficult for those people who didn't get a good grounding in book 1. So I appreciate there are a lot of questions that are coming out and a lot of things that you guys want to know, but they're not really book 2 questions. So I'll do my best to answer them when it's easy to answer. But if it's going to take some maybe complicated explanation, I don't want to lose the attention and focus of the book 2 main, like, you know, the core attendees, particularly as we did open the class for all ages. And we're also conscious of that fact. I know we've got some youngsters in the class, young boys, young girls, alhamdulillah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them increase in knowledge, keep them sincere, make them do this for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make them beneficial to the ummah as they get older and make them patient. So we want to close the class, but at the same time, we have these three questions to answer. It says over here, اقرأ الأمثلة اقرأ الأمثلة, read the examples, ثم حول الجملة الآتية مثلها, and change the following sentence in a similar fashion. This one says, هذا الرجل ذو مال كثير. So what will you say for number 2? Go ahead. If you got a pen, take a pen and write the answer. If you got a mic, take the mic and answer. If you want to write on the chat box, you can answer. Inshallah, let's do that quickly so that we can close the class with the answers. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So, Miraj, today was pretty much a recap of what we did yesterday. You saw you didn't really miss much.
Shall I give it a go?
Yeah, Bismillah, please do.
هؤلاء الرجال ذو مال كثير.
Are you sure? Do.
It's with the extra wow. Yeah, it's thou.
How will you pronounce it? Would you say do because it got double wow?
Yes, thou.
The first dal has a fatha and the second one has a dhamma, so it's dhawu. بارك الله فيك. هؤلاء أحسنت أخي الكريم وجزاكم الله خيرا. هؤلاء الرجال ذو مال كثير. أحسنت. Number 3. الجملة الثالثة. Sentence 3. Third sentence. تفضل أخي الكريم. Where are my mic holders? Don't shy from the mic. That particular microphone is not coming out clear at all. So your participation. I'm so sorry, Akhi Kareem. Is anybody else that wants to participate?
هذه مايك ذو مشكلة.
It's a good try. It's a good try. It was slightly off topic, but yeah. إنها, maybe you can say. مشكلة. Or لعلها. That's assuming that the word mic is mu'annath. We're saying innaha, and sadly when we think something is wrong, we blame it on the women. So we're giving it feminine dhamir. It's not right. We don't agree with that, do we? Huwa dhul kitab jamil. Again, let's go for the answer for number 3. أحسنت أخي زيد. هذه المرأة ذات مال كثير. صحيح. In actual fact, the word is, الرجل. So it's going to be المرأة. That's interesting. That word, I'm not sure if it came in book 1. I think it did. Let me type it up here. If you guys can see it. See the typing. So the word for woman is imra'atun. See that? Imra'atun. Kasra. Imra'atun. Jayid. And then when you put it with when it goes with alif or lam, when it goes for alif or lam, it becomes al. You don't say al imra'a. You say al mar'atu. Al mar'atu. Al mar'atu. Okay, so هذه المرأة ذات مال كثير. هذه المرأة ذات مال كثير. Look at this. We could just type all along rather than going for all that hard.
Ustad, is it Zatu Malin Kathirin?
نعم ذات مال كثير. Because مال, this is كثير is describing mal. Nothing to do with
طيب. Yes.
So you say هذه المرأة ذات مال كثير. جيد. ذات مال كثير. And then number 2, already we had the answer from the brother. Jazakallahu khairan. He said, هذا الرجل ذا with the fatha, woo with the dhamma, and then waw of mad. ذو مال كثير. And then the 4th one, أيوة أحسن الله إليكم ما شاء تبارك الله.
Can we copy paste that and to make your life a bit easier?
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad.
Okay, that's fine.
Number 2 is wrong. It's not how the rajulu. It's هؤلاء الرجال. Number 2 should actually be هؤلاء الرجال. I'm trying. Let me select it. خير إن شاء الله. هؤلاء الرجال ذو. And the last one, نعم. Sahih. Afwan, please note that number that I made a mistake in writing number 2. It shouldn't say هؤلاء الرجال. It shouldn't say هذا الرجل. It should say هؤلاء الرجال. I'm just trying to scribble that. You don't see it. Some people, they see something and they memorize it. And then the last one, as you said correctly, so هؤلاء النساء ذوات مال كثير. طيب. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We got to the end of that. Inshallah, we will continue with tomorrow from where we left off in the dialogue. We left off at this particular point. You can get dhu, and we'll move on from there, inshallah.
Ustad, sorry, just one question. There was one question which was asked. Is it correct if it is said, Huwa Zul Kitabi Jamilin? I think that's what it meant. Barakallahu feek.
You can say, Huwa Dhu Kitabin Jamilin. Is a person who has a very nice book.
Zu Kitabin Jamilin. Yes. Okay, so Zu is Mudaf and Kitabin Jamilin is Mudafun ilayhi. And then obviously Kitab.
Hold on. Tell me that. Say that again.
So the question is, so Zu is Mudaf, and then Kitabin Jamilin together is Mudafun ilayhi.
La, ya akhi.
Oh no, sorry. Okay, so Kitabin is Mudafun ilayhi.
Barakallah feek.
And then Kitabin and Jamilin is Mawsuf Sifa.
أيوة أحسنت ونعت. So here's that. If you look in the chat box, everybody, there is the link that Muzammil sent earlier on. Posting it again because we're interested to know the types of age groups of the people who are attending. And you don't have to write you can write your initials if you don't want your actual name to be there, no problem. We're just more interested in, you know, any feedback that we can get from you all, inshallah. So that link has been posted there for that purpose. We'll stop it there. Apologies again for the prolonged lesson, longer than we expected. Hoping that it's not difficult for you all, not overburdening you and the listeners who are listening in on Mixler. Also, Jazakumullahu khairan for your patience. Previously or yesterday, we had some technicalities, some problems. Today, alhamdulillah, we're using a different platform, which is Zoom, and it accommodates a lot more people. So I'm hoping that even the people who are listening on Mixler, you could actually listen and also see the screen by clicking on the link. حفظكم الله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Well,